Hello and welcome back to Massive Crit for the second video in 2 days, and Games Workshop just seems to be dropping everything at the worst possible time for me. First, they've dropped the bat rep on Warhammer TV of the new kill team Into the Dark when I'm supposed to be painting my kill team up ready for the tournament on Sunday. So hopefully we'll see what we can get done there. Well, there's no minute like the last minute, I suppose. And secondly, they're actually releasing Kill Team Into the Dark when I'm away seeing the in-laws, for God's sake. So I'm not going to get my hands on it straight away, but hopefully the shop will save one for me. So my intention in this video is just to cover the core rules for Kill Team Into the Dark as seen on the bat rep on Warhammer TV. I do recommend, if you've got the money, to go and watch it. It's pretty cool. And then I'm going to make two future videos tomorrow and the next day covering the Kroot and Imperial Navy. So if you don't want to miss out, then subscribe now. Without any further ado, away we go. So I'm going to start by talking about the mission that they showed on the bat rep and then go into all the rules as I kind of found them in the bat rep. And if I've missed any, please put them down in the comments below. I'd love to know. So here we are with the mission that they played, and the mission was called Command Station Control. A key command station has been discovered, and capturing it will allow the operatives to activate other parts of the Gallow Dark. There are 3 objective markers across the board, and the mission rules: at the end of each turning point, teams score 1 VP for each objective controlled. So you don't have to perform an action. Well, I got the impression you didn't have to perform an action on there, you just needed to be within 3 of the centre. And what I think is really interesting about this picture is how all the walls are labelled. It gives me the impression that each of the numbers correspond to a specific piece of wall, so perhaps these numbers are like build instructions, with every mission being built differently. Just a thought. The scouting phase just seems to be the same as we see in the Octaria set. It didn't show where the initial 2 barricades were placed, so I'm unable to confirm for sure what they actually are, but let's just take a look at the next slide. Both opponents chose additional barricades, and we can see Nick, I think it was here in this photo, placing his, and it seems to be like a piece of terrain rather than the tactical barricades we got in Octarius. They did cut to this image when talking about the barricades, and throughout the bat rep they refer to these pieces of terrain as barricades, so the generator thing and the ammo crates behind. And I don't remember seeing the Octaria style barricades in the promo images for Into the Dark, so maybe we place scatter terrain, well, these pieces of scatter terrain, as if they are barricades. But anyway, let's talk about something a little bit more interesting. These next bits are things that I've picked up that I think maybe some of the kill zone rules. So on the first one that I want to talk about, I don't think I've got any pictures here because it's difficult to get a picture of, but one of the guys that was playing was moving his crew, and it seemed like they've got 2 APL. We never explicitly told how many APL they had, but it seemed like they had 2, and opening the door, they moved and dashed, and they seemed to be able to open the door, so I don't know, maybe they get a free dash, who knows, like the Eldar Corsairs. But other operatives seem to spend an action point on closing doors, not opening them, but closing them. So I don't know if there's something in that. But what I really want to talk about is guard. And this is guard, which is an action. And it seems to be an action unique to the kill zone, like scramble in Octarius. It doesn't seem to be locked to specific teams, but I'm not too sure about specific operatives because I only saw both heavy gunners from both teams use it and the long sight Kroot sniper use it. Well, let's have a read. The operative goes on guard. See below. An operative is on guard until any of the following are true. It performs a guard attack or any actions excluding pass. An enemy operative ends an action within engagement range of it, and it does not make a guard attack. Its order is changed to conceal. It is the end of the turning point. This action is treated as a shoot action. An operative cannot perform this action if it has a conceal order or while within engagement range of any enemy operative. An example of how I saw it played would be a heavy gunner moving into a position and then using an AP to go on guard. When an operative moved within line of sight, the operative on guard would perform an overwatch action. And this overwatch action would be within your opponent's activation. Overwatch seems to be the same as it always been, and overwatch can still be performed as normal when you run out of ready operatives, but this guard action makes ranged weapons relevant in the new setting. Obviously, there is a lot of line of sight blocking terrain, so the guard action is a way of making our long range weapons relevant in the new environment. I quite like it. Overwatch was the only guard action that I saw, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is the only action available for guard. There may well be something else as a guard action, like a charge guard action, as well as an Overwatch action, but who knows. The next action that I want to talk about is the Hatchway Fight, and I'll just give it a quick read because it's a bloody awful photo. So it reads, this action is treated as a fight action. An operative can perform this action if all of the following is true. It is not within engagement range of an enemy operative. Its base is touching an open hatchway access point. An enemy operative is blocking that access point. An enemy operative is blocking that access point if it is on the other side and within a circle of that access point, as shown in the diagram opposite. Fight in combat with the active operative against an enemy operative blocking that access point in the select valid target step of that combat. That enemy operative is a valid target. The Navis armoursman is not within engagement range of an enemy operative and its base is touching an open hatchway access point. Two enemy operatives are blocking that access point, so the Navis armsman performs a hatchway fight action to fight in combat against one of them. And I absolutely love this. It's a fantastic thematic way of speeding up the game and getting rid of those like nickety-pickety things that really slow and clog it up. So I can't wait for the operatives to be battling either side of a hatch, just trying to gain the upper hand. I think that is sweet. And the last thing that I took note of is the condensed environment. So close quarters amplifies the impact of certain weapons, but the low ceilings and level floors mean targeting enemy operatives must be more direct. So weapons with the Blast X, Splash X, and or Torrent X special or critical hit rules gain the lethal 5+ special rule. And I think that's brutal. It's making me reconsider flame pistols, at least for Intercession Squad, for example. I think that would be sweet. So yeah, it might well make us think differently about what weapons we're taking. And the second point is, each time a friendly operative makes a shooting attack with a weapon that has the indirect special rule, you must choose whether or not to use that special rule. If you choose to use it, that weapon gains the range square special rule for that shooting attack. And again, this is another little nerf to grenades, but it will completely change the way that we use them, at least in Into the Dark. And there we have it. I must admit, I'm super hyped for this. I think Kill Team Into the Dark is going to be so much fun. I'm really liking the way the rules seem at the moment. Obviously, you need to wait for the release for the full rules to get a clear picture, but I'd love to know what you think. Are you liking the direction this game is going? Is it any different to Arena? What are your expectations, your hopes, your fears? Put it all down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And click the subscribe button for the videos on the crew and the Imperial Navy. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, may you always crit massive.